This is my grandpa's talk show.
Hello and welcome to Nature Talk News, brought to you by James from the Sunshine State of Southwest Florida. Where there's nature, there's news. Hello and welcome to another episode of Nature Talk News with James and Tina.
Hello.
Hello. Today we're going to have some unusual news.
Very unusual.
Yes, and we're going to start with this one because this one is by request. And that was an article that we found on elk hunting in New York.
Wonderful. This one's good.
Moose elk hunting season authorized by State Senate Committee. Wednesday, March 25th, 2015, Albany, New York. Says Bruce Springsteen sang Hunter of Invisible Game. And the State Senate Committee took his words to heart Tuesday. The Senate Environmental Conservation Committee passed a bill authorizing a moose and elk hunt season, but there's one problem. Elk have been extinct in New York since 1877.
I want to go hunt some extinct moose.
State Senate Brad Hoylman said that silly season has officially opened, even if elk season hasn't.
So true.
Okay. Senator bill sponsor Patrick Gallivan from Erie County said elk have been reintroduced in a number of states. What harm does it do to leave it in the bill? Gallivan said. We would have the opportunity to do it now, but that doesn't mean we wouldn't have the opportunity in the future. Okay, so there's never been any moose in New York since 1877, but you can go hunting them. And I wonder how much a permit costs for that.
Good question.
I'll check into that and see. Okay, next up is 10-year-old survives wilderness thanks to his father's lessons.
Wow.
This was posted Thursday, 8/27/15. Malachi being mobbed by overjoyed family members after he was airlifted to safety. A lost child in the wilderness can be a nightmare scenario for many parents. But one 10-year-old in Utah managed to survive a brief stint in the woods thanks to his father's lesson. Malachi and his family were hiking in near Salt Lake City on Sunday when Malachi became separated from the rest of the group. Since the family was fishing and looking for mushrooms near a remote mountain lake at the time, Bradley was miles away from civilization and faced days alone in the woods. Thankfully, it was something that his father, Danny, had the foresight to prepare for. After failing to find his way back to the camp or a nearby road, the boy hunkered down and built a makeshift shelter against some warm rocks. Bradley also managed to find fresh water and even fashioned a stick for spearfishing. When rescue crews found him just over a day later in the woods, officials said the boy was in excellent condition. He seemed unfazed by it. He is in good condition. He's a little hungry, but he's been checked out by medical crews, and they say he looks good. The county sheriff, Brian Fletcher, told the news Bradley was fortunate to be found so early, but experts say even one night alone can be dangerous for a young child, especially in the mountains temperatures where it can drop drastically at night. Bradley was also well prepared and had the presence of mind to aid rescue crews, which scanned the mountains by helicopter by staying out in the open away from the tree cover.
Smart kid.
Yeah, he was. 10 years old, you wouldn't know if a younger fellow would remember all this stuff if he happened to be out there by himself.
They probably wouldn't.
You'd have to put them in that position to see if they remember any of it.
Yeah, that'd be a little scary too, though.
And you can read a book on how to ride a bicycle, but until you get on one, it's a big difference.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, here's one. Detroit residents turned giant street hole into a fishing pond.
Now that's different.
Yes, that is. Tuesday, 8/25/15, it was posted that an unfinished construction project had been turned into a makeshift fishing hole by Detroit residents.
Wow.
Yeah. You and me going fishing in the dark.
There you go.
Down the street and next to the park.
Okay, please don't sing though.
Okay, I'm not going to sing no more. I don't sing the best I can because I don't want people just flocking all over me.
Oh, is that it?
That's
okay.
it. Yeah.
I believe you.
Okay. It's only about 4 feet wide and 15 foot long, but residents of one Detroit neighborhood say it's now their newest fishing pond. I've been to Detroit, but you know, I imagine anything that's got a little water in it looks like a fishing hole to them. A giant hole on Hall Street in the city's east side has been around for about 4 years now. It was apparently part of a construction project that was later abandoned. Angry over the lack of response from local officials, residents decided to protest the hole's existence by releasing fish into it earlier this summer. They stocked the pond.
There you go.
We like our fish, but honestly, we'd like the road fixed. That was what one resident told them. Other residents complained that the hole was dangerous and froze over in the winter, not to mention being an eyesore year-round. Now, the pond serves as a community attraction.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Stocked with a modest selection of bluegill, goldfish, and carp. Anglers can now be seen trying to hook one of these tiny fish. A broken water main prevents the pool from growing stagnant by providing a constant source of fresh water, and the fish are fed and replaced by local fishermen. Very good. Wonder if you need a fishing license.
That's something you should check out, too.
That's something we should check out. Yeah, we need to find out before we go fishing up there.
No kidding.
Okay, bear attacks a Marine veteran on the way to the outhouse.
People still have outhouses?
I guess they do.
Wow.
This is California.
That seems kind of strange to hear somebody's got an outhouse.
I'll bet the EPA doesn't know about that.
Probably not.
This was posted Thursday on 8/20/15. Talk about being frightened and embarrassed at the same time.
I can imagine.
California man found himself ambushed by a bear in rural Mid-Pines, California, after stepping out of his home to reach his outhouse.
Wow.
According to the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, what that has to do with an outhouse? I guess it had to do with the bear.
The bear.
66-year-old Vietnam veteran Larry fought with the bear and suffered injuries to his head, legs, arms, abdomen, hands, and feet.
Oh, gee.
He was getting after this guy.
No kidding.
I wonder if he ever had to go to the outhouse when he was done with that.
Probably. Feel bad for the guy. Wow.
Oh, man. Despite the injuries, he was able to fight off the animal and drive himself to a local hospital.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
He says, I could feel the blood running out of me. That's when I decided I got to fight, man.
Yeah. No other choice.
When it comes to fighting, he said he has experience. The decorated Marine veteran was wounded in Vietnam, where he was awarded a Purple Heart after being shot twice in firefight.
Ooh.
He's had a rough life.
Yeah, sounds like it.
I put my feet underneath his belly and kicked him, and the bear flipped backwards, but then he jumped back up. I was doing everything I could to try to get him off of me.
That would be very frightening.
Wow. Reminds me of the news we read here a while back. I don't know if we put this on the podcast or not, about the guy come outside. He was like, 70-something years old.
Was that the one that punched the bear in the face?
Yeah.
We had that on one of them.
Yeah, punched the bear in the face because he was afraid that bear was going to attack his little dog.
Yep.
And the guy goes out there. He was a Vietnam veteran, too.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, and he went out there and he punched the bear in the face, a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
And the bear took off, running away. I showed him who's boss.
That's crazy.
He said, I ain't gonna let that bear attack my dog. And he'd punch him in the face. That's what I did. I punched him in the face until he left.
Wow, you gotta love these guys.
Seemed like that was in California too, I think.
That one I don't remember
I'll be
for
afraid
sure.
of them people out there.
No kidding. Or Vietnam veterans anyway.
Oh, yeah, veterans,
We'll be back after this commercial.
For more information about Nature Talk News, you can email us at naturetalk@outlook.com or you can visit our website at naturetalknews.com, and there you can send us a message or you can send us a voice message. Also, you can listen to each one of our episodes straight from this page. Share this with a friend and let us know what you think of our Nature Talk News show. You're going to love this one. California man who takes selfie with rattlesnake may lose his hand.
Alrighty.
Friday, 8/28/15. It is nearing the end of peak rattlesnake season, and experts warn that drought may be pushing the animals to more inhabited areas. Approaching an alert and agitated rattlesnake is ill-advised, but picking it up and wrapping it around your neck for a photo, that is just asking for trouble. Yet 36-year-old Alex, Elsinore, California, another one of them Californians, it seemed like a good idea at the time, until the snake bit him on his hand and sent him to the hospital on Monday. The species of the rattlesnake had not been identified, but it could take more than 2 weeks for the venom to fully leave his system. He is now hoping that the encounter will not cost him his hand. I'm shocked that he would have that thing around his neck, Alex's mother said. It could have bitten his neck and that would have been it. That's just being a fool. I'd say I'd be being stupid.
Okay, you know what? I can be pretty sarcastic at times, and I'll admit that, but normally it's with family and it's in a joking manner. But when somebody does something that stupid, all I can say is, way to go, Einstein.
Where's his sign at? They had to have made him a sign for that.
You have to wonder what goes through these people's minds. Is it one of those nothing's going to happen to me syndromes, or what?
Yep, that's what it is. This only happens to other people.
Yeah.
Okay, so his mother said that the skin near the bite is already rotting away.
Ooh,
Depending on the species, rattlesnake bites can cause severe pain, tissue damage, muscle paralysis, and in several cases, death. In modern times, death from a rattlesnake bite is becoming a rarer occurrence thanks to powerful anti-venom treatments. However, he could be left with a permanent souvenir of the encounter if the toxins continue to eat away at his hand.
Ooh.
He told reporters that he'd found a rattlesnake near his family's ranch and began to taking photos of it. At some point, he picked up the animal and wrapped it around his neck.
Wow.
Despite what he described as angry rattles from the animal. I mean,
he doesn't take a warning very well, does he? He's lucky he's still alive.
He had the opportunity to take just one selfie with the snake before it struck and eventually slithered off.
Wow.
There was another, what was that one guy?
Got bit in the face by a cottonmouth. Yeah.
Yeah, and he found it, and he would look big macho. Look at me, you know, I got the snake, you know, he's holding the snake up, and he said, I've got the snake, look at me. I'm the man. And he took it home with him and put it in a pillowcase.
Smart move.
And he laying on his bed, and he took the snake out of the pillowcase and laid it on his stomach so he could play with it. The snake bit on the mouth, I think it was, wasn't it, right?
Bit him in the face somewhere.
Bit him in the face, somewhere around his mouth area,
Wow.
or cheek or somewhere. And the difference in day and night to what this guy looked like after he was bit by that snake. They took a picture of him being the macho, I'm the man. And, you know, looked like he maybe weighed, 175 pounds. When they showed a picture of him in the hospital from the neck up, it looked like he weighed 400.
I'm sorry, he went from skinny to Pillsbury Doughboy.
Where is his sign?
The coveted Darwin Award. Way to go, Einstein. Sorry, people. These are just too strange.
Okay, now this is more on the sadder side of the news, where a safari guide mauled in a lion attack sacrificed himself to save others.
Somebody that cares about people.
A safari camp near the national park in Zimbabwe is mourning the loss of one of its guides after the man was fatally attacked by an adult lion in the park on Monday. According to the camp, 40-year-old Quinn was leading 6 tourists on a bush walk near an open savanna when they encountered the male lion. When the lion charged towards the group, Swales put himself in harm's way and protected his guest with his own body, ultimately succumbing to his wounds after the lion was driven off. Only praise and admiration can be given to Quinn in the professional way he unflinchingly faced the charging lion, thus ensuring that he protected the clients and of whom were unharmed in any way, said General Manager David Carson in a statement. He paid the ultimate price in pursuit of a job he loved in the area he knew so well. Alright, then it tells how he went about doing this for him, and it says the safari group was traveling in an area near where Cecil the lion was killed in July, an event that made international headlines. While Cecil was killed outside the park, a number of lions still reside within. The lions remain widely popular with visiting tourists and are some of the park's prime attractions. They can also be very dangerous, especially when approached on foot, according to witnesses. Swales and his group spotted the lion pride at a distance, and he instructed the tourists on what they should expect. Then he directed the group to get behind him and not move. At this point, the adult male rose and began walking purposefully toward the group. Swales directed his group to begin shouting at the lion in an attempt to disillude. First, it appeared to be work. The lion halted and watched the group warily, which allowed the guide the opportunity to use a bear banger, a loud noisemaker that could scare off lions and other large predators. Sure enough, the lion started to flee back towards the pride, but at the last second it made a choice with deadly consequence. Instead of rejoining the other lions, the animal veered back and charged straight into Swales.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do that.
I wouldn't want to. That seems a little too dangerous to me.
Well, you'd think, 7 people there.
That was still scary. Think about a lion.
Yeah, but that lion should have gotten scared off.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It should have turned around and actually left.
Yeah.
It takes a real... Wow, what can you say? I mean, the guy actually put himself out there to make sure that his guests were okay.
Yeah. So, then we go back to California.
Again?
Yeah. Officials say that gray wolves have returned to California.
Oh, okay.
Posted Tuesday, 8/25/15, a trail camera photo of several wolf pups in California. It's been almost a century since California's last native wolf died, but it seems the species is making an unexpected comeback. The California Department of Fish and Wildlife, the CDFW, confirmed on August 20th that 2 adult gray wolves and 5 pups had been spotted in Siskiyou County, making it the first wolf pack in the Golden State in nearly 100 years.
Wow.
Yeah. This news is exciting for California, Charles Bonham, CDFW director, said in press release. We knew wolves would eventually return home to the state, and it appears now is the time. The discovery came as a surprise for wildlife officials, who first reported sighting of a single wolf in the northern California county last May. Experts initially believed the wolf was alone and had likely crossed over from Oregon, where they expected it to return. However, subsequent sightings on trail cameras set up in the Siskiyou County revealed that the wolf was not alone, and it intended to stay. Trail cameras recorded a lone candid in May and July. CDFW deployed additional cameras, one of which took multiple photos showing 5 pups, which appeared to be a few months old, and others showing individual adults. Because of the proximity to the original camera locations, it is likely the adult previously photographed in May and June is associated with the group of pups, the agency stated. CDFW has officially designated the new wolf family as the Shasta Pack. Officials are now working hastily to finalize the state's wolf management plan in order to set ground rules for any future wolf population. Gray wolves are currently a protected species in California, but experts never expected wolves to return so soon.
100 years, and
100
that's too soon?
Yeah. Well, I was like New York with the elk. There haven't been any elk there since 1877. Now that they passed a law that says you can hunt elk, they'll probably flood in there like nobody's business.
That is still amusing to me.
You'd think they'd have to be put on the endangered list if they seen any come up there to start with.
Yeah, you would.
Wow. I don't know what they're going to do with all that.
Oh, boy.
Okay, let's go back to the snake thing. That's what we've got. A bunch of snake Californias, and this one's in Australia.
Okay.
Australia man. Australia man rescues venomous snake from a tin can.
Uh-oh, that can't be good.
This was posted Tuesday 8/25/15. Australian wildlife expert Tim Faulkner has spent nearly his entire life working with dangerous reptiles, and in Australia that can be risky business. However, while the land down under may have some of the deadliest snakes in the world, that doesn't make them especially smart.
True.
Faulkner recently posted an online showing him and his team rescue a red-bellied black snake from what appears to be an old bourbon or beer can. It should be noted that the red-bellied black snakes are only considered less dangerous due to how venomous other Australian snakes are.
That's scary.
And these snakes can still inject a hellish cocktail of neurotoxins, mycotoxins, and other nasty things into an unsuspecting victim. Nevertheless, Faulkner extracted the snake skillfully from its tin prison and released it. Luckily for this fella, he didn't have any lacerations around the site where the can was. Faulkner wrote online, "If there were, we would have taken him to our vet and hold the snake whilst our vet inspects and treats."
Yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to have to take it in.
No, I wouldn't either. Imagine a pop can on a snake getting his head stuck in there with, the aluminum. That's sharp in there.
Yeah, I've cut my finger on the edge before.
If that snake done any kind of movement around at all, it would have just slit his throat.
Oh, no kidding.
But this guy got him out.
Wow. He's braver than me.
Yep. Okay, we come back here to Florida. Florida announces expanded python hunt for 2016. Wednesday, 8/19/15, they posted that officers from Florida Wildlife Commission, FWC, hold up the skin from a 21-foot Burmese python. At that size, it's not hard to say why biologists are worried about these species growing out of control. The 2016 Python Challenge is shaping up to be bigger, better, and more effective in every way over the 2013 hunt. Officials with the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, FWC, announced additional details for the hunt this week and confirmed that the 2016 season will cover even more ground. According to a press release from the agency, the FWC is working with several state and federal land management departments to expand the hunt across the Everglades National Park and other public land areas. We're launching a 2016 Python Challenge because Burmese pythons continue to be a significant issue in the Everglades, said FWC Commissioner. We hope these efforts will increase sightings and removal of pythons over the long term in this valuable ecosystem. The hunt's sole target is the Burmese python, a large and highly invasive species that has already had a widespread impact on the Everglades. The park's warm wetlands are a close match to the python's native forest in Southeast Asia. The lack of predators and overabundance of food has led to python quickly colonizing the Everglades, and officials can only guess at how many snakes are currently living in the park.
Too many.
And we're only 30 miles from Everglades.
I wouldn't be surprised if one ever slithered up into our yard.
Yeah, they could follow the canal up here. No problem.
Scary thought.
And we'd look out there and think we seen a baby alligator and it'd be a python's head sticking out of the water.
21 foot long? Wow.
And that's on, 500 feet from here. That canal runs
That's very
quite a
frightening.
ways. Yeah. So that's all we had for this episode, for weird news, I guess you'd call it. So
some of it weird, some of it a little sad.
Yeah. Okay, till next episode, this is James and Tina, and see you.